Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of T.E.A.R.S. Now today I'm going to be playing Aladdin. This is a conversion of the Sega Mega Drive game, which was based on the 1992 Walt Disney film of the same name. The original Mega Drive version was developed by Dave Perry, who later went on to do Earthworm Jim. And it was a platform game that closely followed the film. Basically, the idea is that you play as Aladdin, who's fallen in love with Princess Jasmine, but the thing is, the evil Jafar wants to marry her so that he can rule the world, sort of thing. And basically, it's your job to defeat Jafar and rescue Princess Jasmine. Now, this is an AGA only game, so if you think about buying this for your A500, you're out of luck. This game only works on the A1200 and A4000 models. This version has several improvements over the original Mega Drive version, and in fact one of the improvements is this. The music in this version is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you just heard those vocals there. Now, this isn't the only time this was done on the Amiga. Cannon Fodder obviously had vocals. So did Sensible World of Soccer and quite a few other games as well. So it's nothing special, but it's always a real crowd pleaser, and it works really well on this because the music just sounds exactly just like it's taken directly from the film. It's that good. Anyway, I've just started the game with the default settings, and this is the first cutscene. You'll come across these in between levels. Basically, it's just there to set the scene, tell the story, and there's nice little colourful illustrations there as well. I think this game makes really good use of the AGA chipset that the Amiga 1200 had. There's lots of colours on the screen. The animation is really good as well. And in fact, I think the animation was actually done by the original Disney animators who worked on the film. And this is a very nice looking game. In fact, it is a great game. I really like this one. The first time I played this was actually on a cousin's Sega Mega Drive, and I was so blown away by it. The graphics and the animation and whatever, and it was just so much fun to play as well. In fact, it's quite funny in places as well. There's quite a few bits where they had quite a bit of comical humour in there as well. You play as Aladdin, you run along, you jump on things. There's a bit of humour. You see that guard's his pants fell down, and of course you got all these people chucking pottery and stuff. Why the hell they're doing that, I don't know, but. Now I've just touched a black lamp there, which actually kills enemies in the vicinity. The apples that you pick up, they can be thrown at your enemies. Very good if you need a long range, if you need to attack them from a long range. But of course you got your sword as well. Pull his pants down. Like I said, this is full of quite a few comical moments. Very true to the film, which is quite comical in itself. Basically the idea is you just race through levels, defeat the baddies, do your tasks and stuff. Now, what makes this game really interesting is that it's actually quite varied. I think there's one level whereby you're actually trying to escape the Cave of Wonders on your magic carpet. That's a fun little level. I must say, the game is actually not too difficult. I think experienced players can find they complete it within an hour or so. So it doesn't take too long to finish. But that's a good thing, because you got to bear in mind that the Disney film was a family film, obviously. So it just made sense to aim this game at kids and younger players, which quite frankly it does well. The difficulty level, I think, is perfectly balanced. It's certainly got a much better difficulty level than Lion King, which I might be taking a look at in the future. Overall, I used to really enjoy this game, and I still do. And I think when we found out it was actually available for the Amiga 1200s, we didn't hesitate to buy it. We went straight out and bought it, and I was really impressed with this conversion. I love the genie up in the top left-hand corner as well. We're looking at your health bar. That's quite funny. It's especially at the start level. If you had absolutely no health to begin at the end of one level, you see the health charge up, and you can see him very quickly go from a shock horror to a smile. As you can see, he's a bit it's very wide at the moment. Oh, I didn't quite make that jump there. You can actually jump up onto that little platform there. As you can see, it's really quite worried about my health. It's quite low. Now there's several other things apart from the apples you can collect. I've just picked up a token of Abu, the monkey, who's Aladdin's sidekick in the film. Basically, there's only 2 levels that had this. This first level, and one of the later levels. I think it was the Cave of Wonders. Basically, every time you pick him up, you get a bonus stage where you play as him and you have to complete it. Now of course you can also pick up these genie faces as well. These faces of genie, which give you a chance at this little bonus game coming up here, which I'm not particularly very good at. Basically, it's just kind of like, I got lost. Basically, you have random items problem child. You have to press the fire button, and depending on your timer of pressing the fire button, you get a certain prize, whether you get apples, gems, lives, or you get total loss, like I just got there. Now this is the Abu bonus stage. At the moment I'm just having to avoid these pots, get the gem, and because the gems give you a clue as to where to go next. And basically the first stage you just got to avoid all the pot that's been chucked at you. Now for this video view, I'm actually going to do the first 2 levels, because I don't want this video to be too long. It's not meant to be a long play video, but I have managed to finish this game a couple of times before. Oh, bugger, I've just got I touched the knight, so I killed myself. Anyway, so I'm now on to the second level, which is the desert. This is the cutscene for it. Basically, no, man. And this is the next level is it's quite a good little level. There's actually a cheat that I've known for many years. I'll show it to you when once the level starts. It's basically a way of getting an extra life, and it's quite easy as well. But I think it can only be pulled off once. And but yeah, like I said, the game's not too overly difficult. I managed to complete it a couple of times already, but this is really good. Anyway, here's the cheat. Basically, you just go on and you kill the snake, and now you go back, and there's an extra life waiting for you. There you go. Now, actually, one thing I should point out is normally when I do my video reviews, I always use an emulator, because unfortunately our real Amiga is up in the loft, all nicely packed away, because we don't have the space to have it back down at the moment. Now we did actually. Now unlike Super Hang On, we actually had a proper copy of this game. We've still got the proper box for it and everything. And now for my reviews, I use an emulator, and normally I use an IPF image because they're because they're like the actual they're disc images of the real versions. They're not those dodgy, cracked by Fairlight copies. But in this case, I've actually had to use a cracked ADF because on the original release of Aladdin on the Amiga, it asks you to enter a word from the manual as a kind of copy protection. Now, of course, unfortunately, I don't have a manual handy on me at the moment, so I'm actually using a cracked ADF for this game. And in fact, I suppose it does have one advantage. I've actually sped up the loading times, which in a way were sensible in the first place anyway. But yeah, the loading times when you're playing this on the real Amiga on a floppy disk are really quite reasonable. And the game came on 3 discs, and there wasn't too much disc swapping involved. You put your first disc in to start the game, and then after doing the copy protection, it's like please insert disc 2. And then it's only really halfway through the game, I think, when you get to the Cave of Wonders level, that you have to put disc 3 in. So overall, the loading times on this are very sensible. And I think this does make very good use of the, like I said, it does make very good use of the AJ chipset. The graphics are really colourful and really detailed, and the animation is absolutely, it's really fantastic. Considering it was done by original Disney animators. Anyway, just jump up, get him. And there's you see these guards crop up quite a lot of the time in the game. Now those balloons to heart on, those heart balloons, they increase your health. And of course you've got I just picked up an extra life there as well. And I think I've just got the first type of the scarab as well, which you can actually see floating down the bottom corner there. There it is. And just get the gem. Now there's one thing that you did see in the first level I didn't explain. Basically you go around collecting gems, and basically you spend them at this dealer here, and you can either buy a continue or an extra life. I've just bought one of each, so they're always quite handy. As compared to the Mega Drive version, overall this is actually a really impressive port. I'm really quite impressed with this one. It only runs at 25 frames a second, whereas the Mega Drive ran at 60, and there's a few missing details. Like on the Mega Drive version, just there, you would have seen Abby bouncing up and down on the guard. But overall, this is actually a really impressive version. I really like this one. Very impressed with it. I'm just going to do this last bonus game before finishing the review. And bugger, I've lost. Anyway, this is a great conversion. I'm going to give this game 5 out of 5. Thank you very much for thank you very much for watching.
Things like this, things like that.
It's all good in the long run.